Good morning, evening, afternoon, night, ladies and gents, and welcome to this first discussion with my good buddy
Design Designs.
and I am Sgt.BeZack. We are doing a little discussion of the new movie Transformers Beast Wars.
Rise of the Beast.
I just think of the 3D TV show from the late 2000s, no, early 2000s.
Was it early 2000s?
Yeah, it was somewhere around there. I just remember watching the first season over and over again.
Okay. Alright. I remember watching all 3 seasons. Actually, I have them on DVD.
Good.
So, yeah. Well, let's start off with the good. What was your best parts, the favorite characters, all the good stuff first, then we'll get into the nitty-gritty.
Alright, well, I thought the best was actually Bumblebee in this one. Surprisingly, he wasn't the focus, but for me, it felt like he was the most true to his character out of those who actually got screen time and got to actually do things with the story. Felt like RC was just sort of in there for nothing. Bumblebee, he had the thing with the voice box, and he was doing movie quotes of the time. Very good.
Okay. Alright. I'm gonna have to say my favorite character-wise, I'm gonna have to say Mirage. He reminded me of Hot Rod from the original Transformers the movie cartoon. It would have been Airazor, but she didn't transform
At all. It made no sense.
Yeah. So, well, it made sense because things happened before she could. So, and I want to touch on that later on. But yeah, so besides her, I'm gonna have to go with Mirage because it seemed it was more focused. He was the more talkative one. He had more emotion.
They were trying to bring him out, and I've only recently started watching the original Transformers TV show recently, so I've seen Mirage a few times in it. And the Mirage I see from then and the Mirage in this is just so different that I can't... It's two different characters, and I'm not a fan when they change someone around so much, but they keep the name. It's like, why not just introduce a new character? Transformers does it many times with every new season, or almost every new series. They bring in at least one new character, it seems like.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that aspect. But also, I think the reason why they're doing it the way they're doing it is because they want the new audience, the people that have not seen G1s, because most of the people that are complaining are the people that are either Transformer fans that have watched the original stuff,
right,
and know better. Whereas if you're born in the 2000s and Michael Bay Transformers is the only thing you know, that's...
Yes.
Okay, so I think that's what they're going for.
Okay.
I disagree with going that route. I think with this in particular movie, though, I think they did something for the OG fans and the new stuff, because they did a lot of homage to the movie. They did a lot of homage to some of the characters. Like there was something that RC said, and it kind of made me laugh. But the fact that she turned into a motorcycle, right? And I know you've seen the Transformers Prime, the cartoon CG, whatever. Well, there was a discussion that says, hey, if I reverse my colors, I would be pink. There's no pink on her. I know, I got the figurine. But, so that made no sense to me, but that was them trying to reference the original RC that was turned into a space car and convertible. I also have that figurine too.
You basically have all the Autobots.
I don't have all the Autobots. I have certain ones that I like.
Ah.
Yeah. But I will say though, I really wanted them to show more of the Maximals in their battle mode.
Yes.
Because I think as far as the movie is concerned, the beast form is their natural form, and the robot would be their battle form.
Right, and
That's what I'm getting out of that.
they just needed the Maximals in it longer. It's felt like more than half the movie, the Maximals weren't even in it except for Airazor.
Yeah.
She was the only one, and it was only in her bird form. So, for me, I wanted to see more of Cheetor,
Yeah.
Rhinox, and I wanted Rat Trap. Where's the giant rat?
You cannot have Rat Trap without Dinobot. You can't.
Yeah.
They're like the Optimus Prime Megatron duo. It's like they respect one another. They don't like one another.
Right.
But they respect each other.
Yeah. If people don't know exactly how to get it, think Sanji and Zoro from One Piece. They respect one another, but dear Lord, do they fight one another all the time.
Okay. I'm not a One Piece fan, so don't know. I know Zoro's the guy with the swords, right?
Yes, the three swords.
Yeah, that much I know, but everyone else know.
Do we just want to go from the movie start to finish? Just talk about the good, the bad, as it went, or what we thought of them.
I mean, we can just throw stuff in there.
All
By
right.
the way, those of you that are watching this that don't know, these are spoilers, so it's up to you if you want to continue watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I said it in my movie review before that if you watch all other commercials for it, you've pretty much seen the movie. So, with that being said,
Yes. Well, I will say that's why I try to avoid all the previews and trailers as much as I can, because they are really bad at spoiling movies, and they've done it with games as well.
yeah, I watched the first trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I watched the teaser and then I saw the trailer. After that, that's why when you kept asking me if I was watching anything on YouTube, I'm like, nope, because I do pretty much everything Gundam or Transformers.
Right.
It's gonna come across my feed.
Oh yes.
And I'm like, ooh, no, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. No. I don't want to put myself through that. So,
all right.
I like the intro. I like how they started it off.
Oh yes, bringing in the bad guy first thing and just showing what a danger he is.
Yeah.
My only critique for that is they didn't really show them overpowering the Maximals. You just had the 4 that we saw throughout the rest of the movie, plus another gorilla, which...
Yeah, the silverback ape.
The silverback ape. And it's just like, all right, that's it. Where's all the others? Did they put up a fight? Or was it just they see Unicron and go, oh, we're dead, we need to leave?
I'm pretty sure that's probably what they said. It's like, okay, it's Scourge is here and his little posse, and Unicron is up above us. If it, like I said, you really need to watch the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you watch the original movie, you will understand why they just left. There was... So that's going to be your homework for tonight or whenever you get a chance.
I'm still on season 1 of the first one.
You're killing me.
Yes.
You're killing me.
Hey, I've at least watched all the Robots in Disguise, Prime. I started watching, what was the other one where it was more cartoony? Where they had not...
Animated?
Yeah, where they had not been fighting in the war for such a long time.
Yeah, that's the animated one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who think I don't know what I'm talking about, I do watch a decent amount of Transformers. I've just not gotten to the original. It was the Beast Wars that got me into Transformers to begin with.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I watched pretty much all the Transformers stuff, except for that really, besides Beast Wars, there are other crappy Transformers where they called out their names before they did the weapons, and then Optimus Prime was always combining with other Transformers. They had Hot Shot and Megatron transformed to Galvatron, which same person, just different paint.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I didn't watch any of those, so
Right.
yeah. So maybe they got some of the ideas from that series. Don't know, don't care. I didn't like that series. I couldn't deal with the artwork.
Yeah. Well, they did do a good job. They also did show Scourge, just how strong he is. Now, unless you knew much about the Silverback, you wouldn't realize just how strong he was. Now And I was looking at his hand, I was thinking, that looks sort of like Dinobot's sort of shield thing that he always had in his offhand.
Yeah. Well, Scourge looks very different than what he did in the movie.
Mm.
The face was pretty much almost the same.
Okay.
Scourge had like a beard, kind of like what I got. He's kind of had this little thing with a mustache type thing going on. And he had a missile thing on top of his head. I'm glad they didn't put that on there because other people would have like, that looks like yeah. No.
Well, it's the internet. It needs that stuff. Well,
No.
it doesn't need it. It pops up.
And he was dark. Well, he was a light blue, baby blue with pink fingernails. Yes.
Okay, I can. The color's up to the pink fingernails. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Or
So-
pink, not fingernails, claws. I'm sorry. And he was very, very loyal. More loyal than Megatron / Galvatron.
Oh man.
So, and when Unicron spoke, he was like, "Sir, yes, sir."
And they did show that pretty well in this, where he was
Yeah.
very loyal, even after he was being tortured a couple times. Which, when we get to, we'll bring that up. He would immediately just go, "All right, gotta go help Unicron."
Yeah. There was another movie that did kind of like, you know, when he was talking to Unicron and it just kind of like seemed like the whole background just changed.
Yes.
There was another movie that did the same exact thing and I could not put my finger on what movie that was. If you guys know what movie I'm talking about, comment in the comments, please.
Yes, let us know.
Yeah. But I don't know if you heard the melody of Unicron in there. When I think it was when pretty much any time when Unicron was
Visible?
appeared. Yeah,
Oh.
visible. Yeah.
I did hear the music change, but I didn't quite catch it because
Yeah. That was an homage to the movie.
Okay.
He pretty much looked exactly what he did from the original movie. I'm honestly glad that he didn't transform.
Yes.
Because there would not be any reason for him to transform.
Right.
It's
not like he's gonna fight the planet. He's already can just eat it. So
yeah. But suggestions. If you don't know what we're talking about, just download the Transformers, the original movie. I think it was 86. I think.
I know it was late
not
80s.
2086.
No,
not 1986. But yeah, I should have brought my copy.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah,
But,
so that way they could have looked at it and was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. But
Yeah. Now we get to the fun part of the humans. Oh, come on. It wasn't that bad. Okay, I'm lying. I thought the movie was a little worse than what he thought. Overall.
okay, remember, you gave this movie a 2. I gave it at least a 4.
I
Not
think-
even a 4.5. I gave Spider-Man a 4.5. I
Right.
gave Transformers, which is my stuff. That's my god and
Yeah.
stuff, and I gave it a 4. So.
Well, a lot of it has to deal with this, our main character, who is supposedly, I guess, straight out of the military, but the way he acts doesn't strike me as any military. Maybe Air Force, but they claim Army.
Did he say Army?
I believe it was Army.
There's no way he's Army. Okay? I came from a military family, so did you. And we both said the exact same thing. There was nothing that even claimed that he was even in boot camp. There was no walk, nothing. I mean, no yes sir, no sir, nothing.
Right.
Even the way he carried himself. He never mentions his MOS.
Right.
Nothing. Like, what was he in there for?
Don't know. All we know is he's trying to get a job in security, and he's supposedly very good with electronics, which is like, well, why aren't you trying to get a job in tech repair or retail or something more with what you're good at, which at that time, people were trying to grab anyone who knew what they could do, and he would have had at least, 3 to 4 years experience, depending on what...
Yeah,
What? No, it was.
No, he had.
It was mid-90s.
If he was in, what was it in? I thought it was in. No, the Bumblebee was in the 80s, right?
Bumblebee was in the 80s. I believe this was supposed to be set, what, like 94, 95?
Yeah, okay.
And during that would have been a little bit after they did a drawdown in America of the military.
Okay.
But
so here's my thing: if he was Army, he would have had 4 years. Okay, 4 years. I know this for a fact. 4 years, unless he went AWOL or he got discharged with a dishonorable discharge.
Right.
Okay. So, with that being said, that might have been on his record, and that's why his CO said what he said.
Right.
Or, and I know this for a fact, he could have went to Radio Shack. They had Radio Shack before the 2000s. So he could have went to, and he was living in New York.
Yes.
I know for a fact, I'm from New York. They had Radio Shacks on every single corner. Because we had Radio Shack here and a pizza place right there. So.
Well, New York has pizza all over the place.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah. And they were trying to get this feeling of he's desperate, he's trying to get a job for his brother, his mom's barely doing it, but it's like, all right. I was also looking at his hair. Now, that does sound a little weird, but the reason I was doing that is because they were claiming this is military vet trying to get a job in security, which a lot of people do think, oh, military, you just go straight to security. That's just what you do. It's like, no, it's not. And he would have had a military-style haircut up until he got out. The only branch that allows the men, especially back then, to have any sort of longer hair would have been the Coast Guard. Now, he's New York, maybe the Coast Guard. No, but that's the only, and even then, it would not have been super long. It would not have really gone past the ears or anything. And he had decently long hair that would have taken at least a month or two. And you're trying to tell us he could not get a job in that amount of time. And he was so desperate that after this guy talked to his CO and said, oh, because of the way you are, because of the way you acted, the way your CO said you were, I know you're not a good fit for this team. Which then and then his response to that made me think the main character was a little bit racist.
Well, like I said, being a minority, like myself, when people say things like that, unfortunately, that is one of the main go-to things. Like, oh, really? Oh, okay. All right, I got you.
I can understand where you're coming from with that, but I was looking at the way the story or the way the conversation went.
Right.
Because the guy had talked with him before, and they made it sound like they had discussed, they had met up before.
That's right.
So he would have, and the name would have given away bits of it, and he even said the only reason he said no to the job was because of the way his CEO said he acted among everyone else.
You're right. You're right on that one.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the way the conversation was, like, all right, I could go for that, but the conversation did not hint towards that at all. Okay. It hinted at this is a by-the-book military guy, wants everyone to get along, knows what type of person he needs, and from what he heard, you're just not it.
Okay. All right. I can go with that. I can agree with you on that one.
Yeah. It doesn't mean he should immediately go to stealing cars right afterwards.
Yeah. 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 I'm not going to incriminate myself on anything. So
no, please do. Please. This is for all to see.
Let's just say that I wasn't always a law-abiding citizen. I know some things and I know some people about some things. Anyway, I kind of laughed at that one. I was like, no. Because the other guy, the black guy, is like, I know a guy. Right there. just get out the car. As soon as like, well, I gotta go in there. If you know a guy that's already in there, I gotta go. Nah.
The whole plan was terrible.
It was. It's like, look, I'm like this. If my CEO tells me, hey, go run outside in a ditch, butt naked. I'm going to question that because how come you're not doing it? I says, I'm not going to respect a CEO that's not willing to do it himself.
Right.
Okay, so if I see my CEO go out there and he's running around, but hey, you know what? Woohoo! But no, so that right there, I would have been like, look, I know what you're into and stuff like that, but if you're not coming with me, I'm not sticking my neck out there either.
Right. It made it seem like this so-called friend was just using him as a fall guy in case these things went wrong.
Which they did.
Now, for all we know, maybe he's tried to do this stuff before at this place, and they know him by, the security knows him by face and says no good, but they don't say it in the movie. They don't hint at it at all. So all we can assume from what was shown is this guy is just, he wants to use someone and use them to get in trouble instead of him if things go south when they do.
Another thing is when he gets to the Porsche. Now, this is just me. Maybe it's just me. But if I see a nice shiny Porsche amongst all just thing out by itself, but you got the Maserati, you got a Lambo, and you got a Ferrari all next to one another, and you see an unfamiliar symbol on it. I don't know, kind of looks like a face.
Right.
It could be a Decepticon. Could be, I don't know. It's just a weird looking face.
Yeah.
And then you see that same face on the steering wheel once you get inside the car. If you know anything about cars, which I do, once you pop open the lock, it does not automatically pop back down.
Yeah. And
then you do it, what? How many times did you try? Like 3, 4?
About 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
He popped it, and then it went back down.
Okay, I don't know any American car that does that. I don't know any European cars that do that.
Right.
Even today.
Yes.
Okay.
So the idea back in the 90s, it did that.
Yeah, and he didn't even question that.
Yeah.
But he's good with electronics. Okay.
Yes.
Then he gets inside and he doesn't start it up. The radio starts.
Yeah.
No keys. Yeah. And he fits perfectly in that Porsche.
Yeah.
Back then, they didn't make Porsches to where they fit everybody. They made them custom as when you would go in there and order one, you had to order it, they fit your size, and then you would get inside. Almost like a Lambo.
Oh, man.
So the fact that it fit him perfectly was like, okay, that's cool. But again,
that's getting more nitpicky.
Yeah,
That's
me just being very nitpicky
of it fitting him perfectly.
Yeah.
The other bits makes sense. It's also one of those. Okay, you say you're after a Porsche, but the symbol on the car on the outside and the symbol on the steering wheel is different. How do you know that this is still a Porsche? Because let's be honest, I know quite a few hot rodders who they would buy the wheels of one type of car and then buy the body of another and then use the title for a different type of car.
Yeah.
So for all you know, it could be anything else, and it could be a custom thing. It might not be the super expensive Porsche that you're trying to get.
It could be an alien transforming robot.
Yes. That wants to kill people.
It was, but not to kill people. But
yeah,
it was.
I don't know. Optimus sounded very gun-ho on the killing in just a little bit.
No. That was his intimidation voice. Because if he really wanted to kill him, he's like, oh, damn. My bad.
Okay. You mean to say his regular voice is not intimidating enough for some people?
Nah, that's his dad voice. See, you got his dad voice, you got his, hey, voice, and then you got the, oh, crap. That's Optimus Prime. So, the old crap voice is when you see the blast hit you and like, you see all your friends falling like, Kind of like in the Bumblebee movie. When you didn't hear him, you saw something just start falling like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you see, Prime's here. So,
Run.
out of all the other Autobots that was fighting and stuff, None of y'all could hit y'all's targets, but he could in midair and come down and.
Well, it's Prime.
I don't. Okay, I'm not taking anything away from Prime. I understand that. I understand he's Prime. What? So what changed from Cybertron to Earth?
He hit his head.
He's not Goku. Try again.
He got a little rust with all the extra water on this planet compared to Cybertron. It slowed him down.
Okay. He was walking out in the rain. Actually, I like that effect, to be honest with you. I liked that the show that them, instead of just being either night, day, sunny and stuff, it actually showed them in the water and the rain actually bouncing off of them. I love that effect.
That is good. It makes it more real, and it's like, okay, this is actually happening.
Yeah.
Now we did skip one little part of the introduction to the main female lead, who she was actually much more important to the story than our main guy, who I feel like you could remove from the whole story and just change the introduction of the Autobots to the girl, and you still got the whole movie.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. You know how I feel about humans in Transformers movies. If I want to see a Transformer movie, that's what I expect to see. Transformers, not humans.
True.
Okay? Which I'll be glad. I hope they don't mess up Transformers 1 when it comes out. So
we'll see.
I hope they're watching this video. It's like, hey, look, no humans, none.
No. Have a human fighter jet get blown up by a Decepticon.
Well, they're not even going to be on Earth on Transformers 1. So it's all going to be on Cybertron, from what I'm understanding.
Okay.
Unless they change it.
But no.
Oh, excuse me.
I did feel her introduction was decent. It was the very stereotypical. She's just the assistant. She's actually better than the main person who's getting all the fame and the money. And I was like, all right. Show us a little bit more with it. They did show she was a hard worker because she saw something and she got sort of like the bug and an itch of what is this, and just went right into it.
Yeah. I think as far as how they introduced her, it's almost like I don't know. It's, you know how you go to college for like 4 years and then you intern and you're not getting paid for it and stuff like that. Because I think that's what she was. But although she was an intern, she was very smart.
Right.
But like you said, she wasn't getting the credit. It's the people that was getting paid to do the work that she was doing for them. Right. So I think that was the deal with that. Do I? And I'm biased on this one. Okay. I'm glad that it is this time a strong. Well, I'm not gonna say strong. A black female lead. Okay. She wasn't super strong, but she wasn't Megan Fox either. That she didn't contribute at all. And then she wasn't that hot, sexy babe that's like, oh look at me. I'm in a battle of giant robots. I'm doing absolutely nothing. Yeah. Yeah. No. So I hate that stereotype. Yeah. She actually contributed to the movie. There was a reason why she was in there. Yes. And I like that. They just didn't plug her in. It's like, look, we need a human to do something. I don't know. Like Jake Yeager. I'm an inventor. I don't know anything about Cybertronians, but I can fix Optimus Prime. Yeah. No. All your inventions fail, but you know how to fix Cybertron. Okay. Sure. I'll buy that for $1.
They're actually living creatures, though.
Right. So, yeah, but the way they like it's, yeah.
So, once she meets up with the main guy in the next scene, I was already not liking her. I thought the introduction of her, showing she was a hard worker, she was able to see these connections, and she had the memory to be like, hey, wait a minute, I saw a symbol like this somewhere else. And it's like, oh, there's only one other place in the world that we've seen these symbols. She knew that. It's like, that's good. She helped out with it. But then she was actively going against what her boss was telling her to do. And then she was breaking and entering into the part of the lab she was not supposed to be into, which did end up breaking the statue that they were looking at.
Technically, she didn't break an in. She was already in the building. She didn't break anything to get in. She was already in. She just stole a card.
Well, if you want to get that technical, if you do, she didn't steal the card. The card was thrown at her when her boss said, "Make sure have this pressed." It's like, see, that's you just getting too technical. She was in a spot she was not supposed to be in, and she was.
I'm not robots. I'm a technical guy.
Right. This isn't a little model.
Okay, what can I say? Yeah.
And then, she meets up she does the scan, and somehow this one little scan activates it. It's like, why?
Handed the gamma radiation.
Yeah, it's gotta be the gamma rays.
That's the answer for anything that explodes that's not to explode, or there's some type of radiation. Like, what type of radiation? Gamma. What? Gamma.
I'm just amazed the little statue thing didn't blow up. It fell apart. It didn't blow up with it in it.
Yeah, it's. I don't know what to tell you.
No.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So that's when the rest of the Autobots meet up with our guy after Mirage does a joyride with him.
It wasn't a joyride exactly. He was doing exactly what he was told, which he explained.
And he really enjoyed that, and it was very illegal.
All Autobots show up immediatly. That's exactly what he did. But yet Prime gets mad. He's like, why'd you bring him? You said come immediately. What was I supposed to do? Kick him out? Oh, wait. I could have kicked him out. But no, what I supposed to do? Kick him out? No.
Yes, you could have kicked him out and not transformed and just have it be where he's like, oh, possessed car for the rest of his life. Not touching any Porsches again.
Yeah. Bumblebee did it.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about, just... I don't know. I felt some type of way. If I was the what can I say? The military guy. I would have felt some type of way. It's like, dude, you kidnapped me.
Yeah.
And you want me to give you that? No. I'm gonna go home.
No. Yeah, but that also goes into, it felt like, except for the two main humans, the Autobots did not really care for human life at all. Because you had Mirage trick the police officer to go right into, in between the two lanes, crash into it, and nothing said or anything. It was like, oh yeah, he's fine, nobody cares. It's like,
well, did you see a name on him? he's like a Star Trek.
No, I think there was a name tag.
Was it?
Yeah, they just didn't really show it clearly.
It's probably a Henson, because if you're a Henson, you pretty much know you're gonna die.
Or Smith.
Yeah. So, with that though, I don't mind them not explaining what happened to the other humans in the security guard, because that's not part of the. We care about the story and the other characters. Now, as far as the Autobots not caring about the humans, and we explained this we talked about it,
right?
That they're going by what they've gotten off the World Wide Web, which was from the Bumblebee movie, plus what Bumblebee has already told them about the humans. So it's like, yeah, we got all these thousands of humans on this planet, but Bumblebee says the one that helped him was pretty nice. The one human out of 17 million gazillion humans on here, and you're gonna trust one? No.
But that's not taking into account. These are sort of like soft prequels to the Michael Bay movies, where, and even in this movie, it states Optimus said this was just supposed to be a pit stop, and now we've been trapped here for 70 years.
What, 70 or 7?
I
think it was 7.
Might have been 7?
Yeah, because remember, Bumblebee is in the 80s.
Bumblebee is in the 80s.
Yeah.
But if you go into the
90s.
if you go to the Michael Bay movies, you see Transformers helping the Americans during World War II, I believe.
Yeah. But so, I don't think... See, here's the thing that's... And I think everyone is confused about this. I want to say these are reboot prequels to the Bay stuff. Like the Bay... It's like a multiverse. Michael Bay stuff does not exist. It's a different universe.
I can understand that, but the way the Autobots look and the way the fights are still very similar to the Michael Bay. So that's where a lot of confusion would come into account, if that's what it is. If it's
he produced it because it says it's a Michael Bay production. So it's like they're keeping some of his style in there, but they're saying ignore the first
5, 6 movies.
Yeah,
which they got weird.
Yeah, so but in my mind, I want to say this is a soft reboot in the Bayverse. It's like, hey, this what happened in the beginning is what could have happened. That's just one story. This is a different story from a multiverse.
All right. If
you even look at how they did Bumblebee, okay, and I didn't realize this until I ordered the figurine last night. Yes, I ordered it.
Of course you did.
His feet are very much different. Okay, so he has the same feet from the Bumblebee movie.
Okay,
but from the legs up is Michael Bay. All right. So I didn't realize that until I ordered the figurine. So, so there's that. Optimus Prime.
Right.
All right. I don't know if you noticed it. I noticed this in the trailer. His hands are supposed to be as far as the figurines, they're like a purplish blue. All right. For some unknown reasons, people started making them blue. I don't know why, but his hands in this movie are white or silver, just like in the original Michael Bay movies. So I think they're trying to transition from G1 to Bayism.
Yeah, but I didn't like the Bayism.
Yeah, I neither did I. I liked the first movie because it was brand new and everything. I'm like, there's Optimus Prime and there's the damn mouth. Why?
Yeah, they need to stop with mouths with Optimus Prime. Most of the Transformers don't really need mouths.
They don't. If they do, if you're gonna make a mouth, all right, I accept Mirage. Okay, his face looked, it was still metallic, but it didn't have all those moving.
Too much moving.
Yeah, too much stuff going on with it. You could tell it was he was trying to look humanistic.
Yes.
All right. Even if they did the mouths like the Transformers Primes, little slit, little detail on it. You can tell they have a little bit of lip, but not,
enough to help portray emotions and what's going on when they're not in battle.
Exactly. That the Transformers Prime when they did the mouse thing, I was okay with it. I said, you know what? Why couldn't they done that? I understand this is a kid's show. I understand, but it has a little bit of adult tone to it. But still, I like the art style. I liked how you could tell the detail in it. Although it's again very kiddie, you can tell the detail on it. It wasn't too much.
Yes.
It wasn't less. It was I was like, I can feel this.
Right.
But yeah, this, like I said, I'm a detail type of guy. So, and my wife will tell you, you can have too much detail and stuff. I do a lot of detail, and it's like
and that's what we're saying. There is such a thing as too much.
Yeah.
They need to pull it back a little bit. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked again. It's so easy with this, but they met up with the human. And Optimus is not acting like Optimus Prime in this. That was not, like I was saying earlier, a lot of these characters don't seem to really act like the way they're supposed to act. Optimus was more the leader or the role model of what a Transformer should act like. He had read the books on the primates. He knew right from wrong, and he knew we have to be better. We have to do what is right, even if it is to hurt us. That has been one of the big themes throughout all of the Optimus themes. Mm-hmm. And we are seeing an Optimus that has fought in the war with Cybertron. So he's thousands of years old. And I will still use a little bit of stuff from the base stuff.
Okay.
Because you said it's a soft reboot, so this might still be in it.
Okay.
I can't remember which one it was. It was the one where they introduced some of the dinosaurs that Optimus rode on.
Okay.
They were talking about how Transformers had been on many different planets across the universe, and how part of the reason for the fighting between the Autobots and the Decepticons had to deal with how they were getting energon from the planets. How it was killing the planet or destroying all life on the planet. I don't know if it fully destroyed the planet or just killed everything that was living on it. And the Autobots, or Optimus, was saying, you can't just kill all these people so we have a little bit of energy, while the Decepticons were very, who cares?
Okay.
And this Optimus, who has been through all that, who has seen many different alien races from what is implied, that there are other races,
okay.
He's very, I don't care what these humans, I don't care about the humans at all.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. How would you feel if someone attacked your child?
No, I would be pissed at the people who attacked the child.
Okay. Well,
I would also note that if I realized, hey, my child went into an area that is dangerous and could lead to him being injured because people don't know what's going on, mm-hmm. I'm not going to blame the people as much for the child being an idiot at times. Now, I'm not saying Bumblebee meant to go into the military base, and
I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to.
But he still ended up.
Yeah.
That's one of those where you could say that's full fault on both sides.
Yes, I agree.
So you wouldn't. It's also not something you'd blame everyone, especially someone who used to be a civilian, got dragged into a war, and understands not everyone is the same of the soldiers, because you see the way his units are.
Yeah. I just kind of feel, and this is where we're going to disagree on.
Oh yes.
I feel that the information that he has about humans is from, like I said, the World Wide Web, mm-hmm. and from what Bumblebee is. Now that's not. He treats Bumblebee like his child, brother, whatever.
He treats him like his firstborn child that can't do anything wrong.
Yes, and I think he really feels some type of way. He's, like he said, it's supposed to have been a pit stop. They've been stranded here. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that I don't know how long it takes for them to run out of energon or whatever, but they're probably running out of energon. They're probably running out of places to hide and stuff mm-hmm. like that, because you can only go so many places mm-hmm. and to stretch your legs and whatever. All right, and then you got RC walking around in her biker outfit suit thing, and he's missing the leader one. He's like, if I just hit this one time, won't nobody know.
No, with that size difference, they're gonna know. They are going to know.
But and then you got Mirage over here, just yep.
Yeah.
And you got who was the other one?
Oh, I can't even remember, because he didn't really do anything, did he?
RC.
Mm-hmm. Was it? Oh no.
See, you know what? I keep wanting to call Mirage. Is it Smokescreen? Mm-hmm. Because if you watch Transformers Prime, X just like him.
Yeah, but that's part of what I got at the beginning is the they have so many characters and they don't focus on that many of them.
Yeah.
And of the few they do have, they don't always act like themselves. So someone like you who knows all these characters and how they're decently consistent across all the shows, having it here where they're act completely different, or they're just there just for the sake of having there be another Transformer in the shot, makes you forget. It's just like, oh well.
Yeah.
And so they end up going, oh yeah, this human can sneak into the building and steal it. It's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You wanted to get rid of this human. Now you're just going, oh, we can do it. But, you know, Mirage convinced them with RC. So it's like...
Yeah.
It was like, why are you trusting this human when, like you had said earlier, he doesn't like humans in this movie. He is not a fan of them. He has no reason to trust a human.
Yeah, none. I mean, and again, like I said, from what I'm understanding from the director, he was saying that this is supposed to be a Optimus Prime growing state to where the Prime that we know, we're not going to see that one, which we didn't see the Prime that we know.
Oh, we didn't see it at all.
Yeah.
Nowhere in this movie. I would say with what he was trying to do, it felt like a fan movie. Not as in this was for the fans, as in this is a self-insert. Prime isn't the way he is, but until we got involved, until our self-insert character of the main guy helps Prime figure out what the right thing to do is.
Okay.
It's because it was supposed to be Prime teaching him some things and him teaching Prime some things. Felt like they were trying to do that, but it's like, no. This main character, human, who I don't even care to memorize his name.
Yeah.
You're an ass. You need to just go away. Nobody wants you around.
Yeah. Just and another thing.
Well,
Anyone that watched the 80s, and you probably know this, where the hell was the damn trailer?
I don't know. No trailer throughout the whole thing.
I understand realistically you couldn't do the stunts that he was trying to do, because I remember watching the making of this movie and they wrecked the Porsche and the truck so many times trying to go up that alleyway. It's like, why don't you just find a wider alleyway or just skip that scene? Which they took out some scenes too.
No, and that's how it is with a lot of trailers nowadays. They are showing scenes that are either edited differently or don't show up in the end movie at all.
Yeah.
Now, maybe in the director's cut, those scenes will pop up, but that's not even a guarantee. There are a few movies where even the director's cut doesn't have some of the stuff they show in the trailers.
You gotta go to like the deleted scenes, like with the Bumblebee movie.
Yeah.
There are deleted scenes in there that I thought they should have kept in there that would have been very important for the audience.
Mm-hmm. So they get...
to, let's see, they're at the museum.
Yes.
The Terracons show up.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked this again. So, we skipped the whole part about how the Maximals escaped their planet on the Epsilon, because the ship was the Epsilon. It looked just like it. I was like, wow. Okay, so obviously this person is a Beast Wars fan. I don't think he knows that much about the original G1 stuff, because Beast Wars is part of G1. I didn't realize that, but it is. And so they get to the planet to the future. They show up. Where the hell were Scorch and his acolytes? Because they had to been like in the galaxy for them to show up
somewhere
that damn quick.
Yes.
They was halfway across millions and millions of galaxies away. And they must have hit like Stargate Warp 99 to get to Earth's orbit and to shoot down in the water.
Yeah. The idea that it just popped up and they're immediately there without a space bridge.
Yeah.
Where had they been? Were they just passing by and it's like, hey, pretty colors.
Oh, I know where they were.
Where?
On the dark of the moon.
Oh. Oh, you went there.
Yeah, I did.
No.
But
That explains why the astronauts didn't say much about the dark side.
Yeah.
Scourge just went shh.
Yeah. So, but they had enough time. They had enough time to jump in the water, come out of the water, scan some vehicles that at that time was not in New York, and I don't know where Scourge found a junky old truck or whatever.
It's New York by the docks.
I guess, and Nightbird found